Welcome to the Wandering Wardells. This is our final episode from the Carnival Magic, where we went on the cruise about mid-September out of Norfolk, Virginia. Again, just a recap, we were going to be heading to Bermuda from there, but because of our hurricane, they ended up diverting the cruise and we ended up in Bahamas. So we went to 3 cruise ports in Bahamas. We went to Half Moon Cay, which is again their own private island. We went to Nassau, Bahamas, which we'd been to before, but we went there again to try something different. And then we went to Freeport, Bahamas. So those are the 3 cruise ports we went on our 6-night cruise. So without further ado, please check out this video and we're going to see all of the cruise ports that we went to. So keep wandering with the Wardells.
Wandering, wandering, wandering Wardells. Wandering, wandering, wandering Wardells. So dream about your next vacation and I will be your guide. And share with friends and hit the like, then ring the bell, subscribe.
Okay, we are officially in Bahamas. It is late morning and we are just waiting for them to call us to board the water taxi, shuttle, whatever you would like to call it, to shore. We're at Half Moon Cay in the Bahamas, which is one of 2 islands that the Carnival Cruise Corp owns. The other island is called Princess Cays, which we've been to before once. But anyway, we haven't been to this island. So Carnival, it's too shallow for them to actually dock. There's no dockage here, so they're doing water taxis to the island. On this particular excursion, first of all, it's included. Second of all, lunch is also provided on the island. And they're doing a whole whack of different games and activities throughout the day while we're on the island. So we are going to check that out. And they should be calling our number shortly, and we will show you the water taxi when we get on it. Okay, we are getting ready to board the shuttle to Half Moon Cay. And apparently we only need room keys for now, but apparently ID after. And I will say one other comment. They do this all by numbers, so you get your ticket in the morning and then they call it out through the ship, so you don't have to actually wait long in line to actually board the shuttles, which is very convenient. So we were able to just do what we wanted to do and then wait till they call it through the ship and then walk down, and it looks like we're heading right to the boat right now. Welcome to Half Moon Cay. Not much to say. You can obviously see our ship in the background. We weren't able to get a great recording on the water shuttle yet. We were going to do that on our way back. It was simply very, very full. But it is a beautiful beach here.
Gorgeous. The color of this water is just amazing. We're going to try to find a floaty somehow.
And a chair.
Bye.
Okay, again, we are at Half Moon Cay on Carnival's Carnival's privately owned island in Bahamas. And I must say, and I'm not even exaggerating, I've traveled extensively through the Caribbean, Mexico, and I've yet to see a beach and the water as crystal clear as this. You can see right to the bottom, and it's very, very white sand. And if you look all the way down the beach, there are numerous bars here. Okay, we are still on Half Moon Cay, and I just want to point out a few more things. We're gonna get ready to take the water shuttle back to the boat now. So if you look to your left, you'll see a pirate ship That's where they are hosting the majority of the day's activities, very family-friendly activities. And since it's just the two of us, we just elected to kind of just chill out here. Directly behind me, you're gonna see a bunch of different colored little shack-looking things that have numbers on them. And you can rent those out for a fee through Carnival for the day. I can't remember what the price was. I definitely looked, but they were very pricey. And as you keep moving down and panning this other side, you'll see the main beach bar, which if you zoom in, you're going to see the Budweiser sign. That is the main beach bar. And so we are, like I said, on our way back out. And I want to stress, no joke, this is the most beautiful beach that I have ever been to in my life. So we're back on the shuttle, leaving the island now. So I'm gonna do some recording as we're on our way out, but it's a very large shuttle. There's actually 2 rows, and it is a hot day, so people up top, they're dying. Coming out of the final channel to get into the open water, and here we come, and here's our ship. Well, the boat ride total time, I'm going to say it's less than 10 minutes, despite them calling out on the way there so that we did not have to wait as far as getting a number and them calling when it's time to come down to board. On the way back, it was a little bit longer of a wait for the boat to show up. I'm going to say somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, waiting for our boat to arrive to take us back to the ship. But again, the ride itself, less than 10 minutes to the ship. It's also truly daunting how large these ships really are as you approach close. And this, for sure, is not even close to one of the largest ships from this fleet or any of the others. But it certainly feels very large when you're approaching it. It's hard to believe that we're actually kind of living on that at the moment.
She said that's part of the bridge. She said that a couple days ago. She's talking about it. She said that. It wasn't me. No. Cindy, you're so small. Yeah, it wasn't me.
Okay, welcome to our second port of stop, second port of call, I should say, and that is Nassau, Bahamas. So I have been to Nassau, Bahamas one time last year on another cruise, and we're going to give you more information. The first thing I want to tell you is that we are actually docked here, so you certainly aren't lured out and then taking a water shuttle. So we are going to be going down, and we'll show you how easy it is to exit the boat. You can see just around, which we'll get better shots of that there's actually 3 different boats in port. There's definitely a Disney boat, and then the one beside that is another Carnival boat, which is called the Carnival Sunshine. So we're going to head down and exit the boat, and we'll tell you more in a second. Okay, so here we are leaving the ship. We are on deck 0. We literally just got off the elevator, and we're just going to scan our boarding pass thingamajiggies.
And if you're recording, you cannot record this.
Oh!
Okay, we just got off the ship. We are surrounded by ships here at the Nassau port. If you actually look just in the distance over here, you're going to see probably the main attraction of Nassau for people, which is the Atlantis Hotel Resort, and it has everything and anything in that place, including a huge water park, etc. But again, we were here last year and we went to that. Cool to see once, but certainly not going to visit it again.
With the kids.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk around a little bit. We did not do a shore excursion. And then we are going to look for a little boutique hotel that I found that's actually, they say it's 10 to 12 minutes walking distance from the port. So we're actually going to kind of wander the streets and head there and see if we can buy a day pass directly from the resort. So again, now we've just exited the actual cruise port. We're at the edge of the cruise port in Nassau, Bahamas. And if you look behind these, there's a bazillion shops behind me. I don't pretend to know exactly the price points, but what I do know is that any shop that's close to a cruise terminal, the prices are jacked. So we're not going to bother going to those. We're going to head this way over here to the main street, or to one of the main streets, I should say, the main street. And we're going to just continue walking and we'll let you know what we find. Okay, so we have made it to the Grey Cliff Hotel. I would say it's closer to a 15-minute walk, but still a nice walk because you walk past a ton of shops, a ton of restaurants, bars, etc., etc. And it's tucked away, so I don't think that this will be as much of a tourist trap as some of the other places. So we're going to go in here right now and we're going to see if we can get a day pass. Okay, it is very hot out here. We tried to get a day pass for the Grey Cliff. Now, admittedly, I saw it online with a bunch of other companies selling it, thinking with my sheer brilliance that I'd be able to come directly to the hotel and get it a lot cheaper, just saying, well, they have a cigar factory on property as well, so we were gonna buy a couple cigars, and then, anyway, long story short, there is no discount. It is 128 American per person. Although that includes a very fancy lunch, because this is actually a very fancy place. I don't think the video will do it justice, but this is a high-end boutique hotel in the Bahamas. So with that said, we are going to go to the cigar factory, and then we are going to find somewhere to cool off before I die. So this is what we're missing. Really unique property, but we're not allowed to use it unless we pay 128 American per person. So at the very back of this hotel, and when you're looking at it from the road, you would not have any idea that it goes this deep. Because it was a bit of a walk. But with that being said, we're about to enter the Grey Cliff Cigar Company. I love cigars, and apparently this is an authentic cigar company, obviously based out of Nassau, so they roll and make their own cigars. So I'm gonna go check that out. Okay, we're now inside the Grey Cliff Cigar Shop, and if you look in here behind me through the glass, you can see them hand rolling their cigars here. There's a whole whack of cigars everywhere, and including back here. So I'm going to see what kind of costs they are, and I will let you know.
So now,
Oh, you go ahead.
so now we're trying to find the rum factory. Apparently they're the best pina coladas around, so that's where we're heading. So apparently we just have to turn left at the church up here.
And
So.
final note, we did just leave the Grey Cliff Hotel. I did get a cigar there, and I smoked about a third of it. I'm saving the rest for later. And they're super fresh. I don't know if that's how you should describe cigars, but that's all I could say. Super
Because
fresh.
it's very hot out. Okay, bye.
Welcome to the distillery. We found it, so we're pretty happy about that. It is called John Waitling's Distillery. Know nothing about it other than it's some rum distillery, and it looks like it's got a really cool patio, so we'll show you more in a second. So we just walked in, and for some reason we were given a free sample, and we just walked into a free tour. So I guess we're just walking around the distillery. So I'm not much of a rum drinker, but this is pretty cool. And the pina colada sample was pretty good. I think I might be having one later because I'm so warm.
Take your first sip. Tell me how it is.
Well, we already had a sample. Pretty good. I might be starting to like pina coladas. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, jeez.
So, we're just on our way back to the cruise ship now from Nassau, and I grabbed myself a few beer from their particular brand, Sands. Haven't tried it yet, but just opened it because again, it's hot, hot, hot. So. Well, my honest review is, of course, I'm boiling, so any beer is great. I don't know if I'd love this if I wasn't boiling, but right now it tastes amazing. Okay, that concludes our time in Nassau for us. We were out for 3 hours-ish. I want to just say a couple things. Again, we went to the 2 stops that we just thought, why the heck not? The first one being the hotel, and the second one being the rum distillery. I do know that if you actually, through your cruise line, look at some of the packages or the excursions that you can buy, they actually charge a pretty penny for the 2 things that we did for free. So if you like walking, and if you want to walk past all the shops, and if you don't mind approximately a 15-minute walk to that first hotel, and you're interested in cigars, again, totally free. And then from there, it's about another 10 minutes past that to get to the rum distillery. Again, totally free. But we saw tons of tours coming in where they're charging mucho dollars to do the same thing we did for 0 cost, other than the cost of our drink and the cost of the purchase of my 1 cigar. So we did Bahamas really cheap, or Nassau very cheap, and we had a blast. The other thing is the beer that I just showed you 2, they were 3 for 10 bucks. So guess how many I got? Anyway, the beers are done now because you cannot bring them back on the ship. So we are heading back on to finally hit the pool. Okay, we are at our final port of 3, and that is Freeport, Bahamas. Haven't been here before. What I can tell you is when we docked, looking around from higher up, which I'm not going to waste time showing you, but it has a real industrial look to it. And other people have said that on the ship, that there's really not a whole lot here. I do know there's some excursions, mostly those about 30 minutes away, going to various hotels for the day. And then there's a beach excursion, I believe it's called Tano Beach, that's not as far, but we have to be back on the ship at 2:30 today. So as a result of that, we thought we'd just actually come out and wander around and just kind of see what's nearby the ship. So we're basically doing another unplanned day, and we'll see if we find anything. I suspect it's just going to be a few shops, so we're not going to do tons of video here, but we are in Freeport, Bahamas. Okay, so just outside of the cruise port, so far what we've found is a whole bunch of stores. Now you're seeing a few around us, but there's little souvenir shops everywhere. One thing we haven't done yet is we haven't filmed any of the prices. So we're going to give you an indication of kind of what things cost around the cruise port. And of interest, maybe, in Freeport, unlike other cruise ports we've been to, if you spin around, you're gonna see how close the ship actually is. So you literally get off the ship and you're right into the shops. Let's go explore. So we're in one of the many stores, and just to give you an idea, there's a whole bunch of shirts here, men's shirts. The price is $25. Now, I suspect you can barter, but I'm not sure on that. So that's kind of the shirt prices at the port. We definitely saw the prices lower the deeper we got into town when we were in Nassau. And then when you look at, just say, any dress, this is $38. So that just gives you kind of a general idea. So the prices aren't super cheap, but we'll keep on looking. Well, I hope you enjoyed our final video again. I want to say a couple more things, again, as I always do. So the first thing I'm going to say is that the cruise ports, there was mixed feelings about them from us. So the first one that we went to, Half Moon Cay, their own island, as you saw in the video, we couldn't say enough good things about that. Again, the beach was absolutely beautiful. Fast forward to the second cruise port, to Nassau, Bahamas. Again, we had a great time, even though it was incredibly hot, but what kind of complaint is that really? Because that's why you travel to these warm destinations. However, we just went out on our own, as you saw, and I would highly recommend, as we've been there before, that if you have kids, you have to check out the famous Atlantis Hotel. At the Atlantis Hotel, they have a crazy, and I mean crazy, water park. They have a huge aquarium, and it's just a monstrous building that you can spend a whole day at with your family and enjoy your time there. And then the last cruise port we went to, obviously, was Freeport, Bahamas. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, Freeport was a big disappointment for us. There's absolutely nothing there. It is just a big industrial part of Bahamas, and they really had nothing there to offer at all of any value as far as we were concerned. So, with that being said, we are now wrapped up from the Carnival magic, and just in time, because just by fluke, not by fluke, but because of timing, we are actually right now in another hotel. So today is November 28th, November 28th. And we are in a hotel ready to start our next vacation and our next journey. So please stay tuned tomorrow when we're going to let you know exactly where we're going, all the places we're going to visit, and the things that you're going to see. So keep watching us, please. Keep following us, keep subscribing, and keep on wandering.